The TVWan News is proudly brought to you by
BSP, our bank, our people.
Hi, this is TVWan News. I'm Carol Kidu Jr.
And I'm Rex Litter. Join me for sports later in the bulletin.
In this edition, state of emergency ends tonight. High tides hit coastal villages. And new kidney dialysis center opened. The 14-day state of emergency in Port Moresby ends midnight tonight, with Acting Police Commissioner and SOE Controller Donald Yamasombi expressing satisfaction at the return of normalcy to the city following the riots on January 10th. However, police and PNG Defence Force personnel will continue to maintain public presence in the city.
The 14-day SOE invoked under Section 226 of the Constitution that was aimed at ensuring the safety and security of the National Capital District, whilst also addressing the underlying issues that led to the riots of January 10, will end at 12 p.m. this evening.
I'm glad that we have achieved the objective of that state of emergency. The banks have opened, the shops have opened. PMVs are back to normal business, and life is now back to normal. As we step out from the state of emergency and going forward, you would find that in the city we will have the PNGDF personnel as well as police personnel still maintaining presence on our streets in the city. That is to further give that confidence to all our people and residents.
Acting Police Commissioner and SOE Controller Donald Yamasombi says there are two investigations being conducted simultaneously into the events of January 10, one by the government and the other by the police.
The police, we have two investigations that are running parallel. One is looking at the conduct of our men and women so that we can take disciplinary action, and the other one is looking at the criminal conduct by our men and women. So, as you would appreciate, our divisional commander in NCD was sidelined for those investigations to be carried out, and at the same time, yesterday evening, one arrest has been made on one of our members, who is also the police union president.
Furthermore, PNGDF Acting Chief of Defence Commodore Philip Polewara emphasized the Defence Force's support to the police and assures the country that there will be no repeat of the events of January 10.
I can assure you, I can assure the citizens of Papua New Guinea, especially the city residents of Port Moresby NCD, we will support police, and we will not allow that to happen again. This city is ours, and this is where we live. We come from all over Papua New Guinea to live here and work and to serve our country. And this is the heartbeat of our country, Papua New Guinea. We built it, we destroyed it on that day, and we will rebuild it again.
Meantime, Yamasombi says one arrest was made yesterday in relation to the unrest. He says investigations are afoot. Maricela Kelaton, TVWan News.
A number of villages in New Ireland province affected by the huge king tides on Monday said they were not warned in advance by the Weather Office. The villages of Laraibina, Madina and Fisoa along the Boluminski Highway and Lava and Tatau on Tatau Island were hard hit by the rising waves.
Villages along the east coast of New Ireland province were woken up in the early hours of Monday morning, alarmed by the angry sound of crashing waves and high surges. The villages of Laraibina, Medina and Fisoa along the Buluminski Highway said the tide started surging at approximately 2:30 a.m. on January 22, 2024. Commonly known as king tide, these unusually high water levels are caused by the orbits and alignment of the Earth, Moon, and Sun and normally occur once or twice in a year. On mainland TVWan, a number of homes, food gardens, and water sources were destroyed with debris strewn along the Buluminski Highway, reminiscent of the 2009 devastation. Hubert Melake, the founder of TVWan-based civil society organization, Malas Foundation, said the sudden and powerful movements of the sea occurred while most people were fast asleep, causing concern and alarm within the community. Unfortunately, the community was not adequately advised or forewarned about those changes in sea level. He said the lack of prior communication and information regarding the potential risk and impacts of the high surges left the community unprepared to respond effectively and mitigate the damage caused by the king tides. The Tabar group of islands also reported widespread destruction, with Tatao Ward 2 Councillor John Langele Jr. estimating that over 10 houses have been destroyed. Ward 2 of the Central New Ireland Rural LLG covers the villages of Pekins Berui, Sos, Lava, Tatao, and Marakat. Of those villages, Lava and Tatao have been affected as they are located on the northeast and northwest side of Tatao Island. The councillor said 3 big waves crashed onto the island, chasing people out of their homes in the night. On Monday morning, the momentum increased with strong heat-ups. He stressed that the mandated office should have given them advanced warning. Maricela Kelleton, TVWan News.
A memorandum of agreement was signed today between WaterAid PNG and the National Weather Service for the purpose of collection, storage and accessibility of data to assist in development planning. The weather stations will be set up in East Sepik Province. The MOA will also be given to the provincial government for signing.
Weather plays a huge role in monitoring of food security as well as water security. The signing of the MOA between the WaterAid PNG and the National Weather Service will allow the installation of 5 automated weather stations in East Sepik Province. According to Earth Networks, the automated weather stations most commonly report on surface weather observations like 1. Temperature, 2. Wind speed, 3. Wind direction, 4. Precipitation, 5. Humidity, 6. Solar radiation, 7. Atmospheric pressure, and 8. Visibility.
Basically, the National Weather Service is coming on board with our technical expertise because we have a wide range of expertise in monitoring weather and climate in Papua New Guinea, and not only that, but we share that data with the global institutions. That is why it's very, very important that we work with WaterAid PNG, because that's something that is very, very important for our people. So we are monitoring the situation, and it's very important that this program, that as we roll it out, it becomes not only for East Sepik Province, but it is to be rolled out right across the country.
PNG has been affected by the drought in 1997 to 1998 and in 2015 to 2016. NWS is expecting droughts to be coming around. PNG has also stepped into its return period from last year's declaration of El Nino.
With our support, the automatic weather stations are put up, and that data comes in so that it goes back to the National Planning Office for their planning purposes. And when we give that forecast of weather when it begins to affect or the drought, then they know exactly when to tap into the groundwater or into the rainwater. So these are the things that really will make a lot of difference for our people back at home.
WaterAid's interest in the rolling out the weather stations is really about climate resilient wash. We know that we have an access, in terms of access to water, sanitation and hygiene in PNG is quite low. We have some of the lowest stats in the region and the globe. But adding to that stress is really climate change. I mean, we've all seen the effects of climate change. Mr. Komoga just mentioned the drought. We have potential strong winds, high tides, heavy rainfall. That's all an effect of climate change. So we can deny it, but climate change is here to stay, and it also affects, again, our access to other important services like water. But in order for us to adapt to and mitigate the effects of climate change on our water supply, we need to have good, accurate data. And that's what this having automated weather stations is about collecting good data to then, for legislators and policymakers and governments, implementers such as the ECPIC provincial administration can use that data to then plan for how we can prepare our communities for these climate change effects and ensure that they have adequate supply of water.
The partnership has not yet decided where to set up the automated weather stations. However, installation should take place in the next 2 to 3 months. Jasmine Irojak, TVWan News.
The country director for Program for Water Aid PNG said the automated weather stations will be of great benefit to the government, as they would be for rainfall data and activities in other sectors including agriculture and aviation. According to Kien, Water Aid has worked in ECPIC province since 2018, making improvements in service delivery in water, sanitation and hygiene, so that they are climate resilient and inclusive for communities.
The rainfall data, the air moisture in the air moisture, just to be able to predict what our weather looks like or climate looks like in the future, so that we can also work with the government and then plan for how we can prepare our communities for these climate change effects. So that's what it's about. But I believe there's other data that the weather stations will collect that will be of benefit to, say, aviation. For the ECPIC provincial government, they could also use the data for agriculture in ECPIC. And we hope that this partnership is then a model for other donor partners and governments to engage in similar kind of partnerships and work with the National Weather Service.
The Madang Provincial Electoral Commission Office is preparing to host the local level government elections this year, with tentative dates already out. The issue of writs is Thursday, June 27, 2024. Provincial Returning Officer Sponsor Navi has confirmed that groundwork has begun.
On recruiting casuals to conduct household surveys to update Madang's common roll, manpower will be sourced from the provincial administration with a listing of names from each ward, and LLG provide for training.
Officers have been recommended for appointments already, so the committee will meet and then confirm them for each of the LLGs and the districts. So they will be in charge of each of the districts and LLGs to conduct the roll update. So hopefully by next week we should have the names come out, and then they are informed, and then we will have briefing, training with them, and then they will start by middle of February. They should start the exercise.
The issue of writs is Thursday, June 27, 2024. Nominations will also open then at 4 p.m. Polling starts on August 24 and ends September 6th. Counting begins September 7th, and the return of writs is on September 27th. According to Mr. Navi, there are no clear instructions on public servants who want to contest the LLG elections.
As for the next elections, yes, if you are a public servant, you are holding a public service post, and you want to, you had to, reside 9 months before the issue of writs. But for the LLG elections, it does not specifically, mention anything about you signing or to contest. So you will get some instruction on that, and then we'll come back to all of you, and then people can be made aware.
The office is now waiting on the Department of Local Level Government Affairs to give directions on what can be applied to those public servants intending to run for the LLG elections. Roland Dennis, TVWan News.
The National Airports Corporation and Tactical Solutions International Limited have formalized arrangements for the provision of landslide security services at the Port Moresby International Airport. Both organizations signed the contract agreement today, allowing TSI to provide security services for NAC's landslide operations commencing on 1st February 2024. TSI is contracted by NAC to provide security for monitoring access control at the landslide checkpoints, monitoring vehicle movements at the car park locations, and providing security surveillance at all landslide locations. Their contract does not include passenger and baggage screening inside their terminal. Present for the signing were the top management members of both the NAC and TSI.
From our perspective, we're happy to be signing a contract with TSI and to bring them on board so that they can support our services here at International Airport as well. The process that has gone through last year during the tender, I also wish to extend our appreciation to all the other companies that's also tendered for the project as well. And the decision was made at the time to award a contract to TSI. So we're looking forward to working with TSI and getting them on board to support our services here in Port Moresby.
This is TVWan News. After the break, a strong wind warning and community heroes honored.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase EasyPay units wherever you are. Visit your BSB branch today to register now for BSB Mobile Banking. BSB Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSB, our bank, our people.
He says the best Hunters players come from his region. So does she. But there's one thing that brings everyone together. SB Lager, Bunyamyumi.
Hiya, Mama. You wait then, but me add him special flavor.
Put in more flavor, put in more taste. Magic kakaroon, get up and big smile on face. Time for kim chicken, a great kumutu. Sip, sip, da moo, yes, magic on you.
Magic, the taste PNG loves.
Open nets.
Enjoying life when we work together, making happy memories that last forever. Hot in talk, young or old, a scale-raised family meal we're told. We'll bring out the smiles cause it's our favorite of mine. Tennessee cola, scale rice, long scale price. Tennessee cola, scale rice, long scale price. Amber, you like it?
Superstition ain't the way.
This season, the Bunce family are taking the ultimate risk.
There's no investors, there's no third party.
We're paying for it ourselves.
We have to find some good trade.
The stakes are high, and every decision is their own.
Time and money is everything. That's how important it is.
Hit it! Rush, 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 move, move, move.
It's all or nothing.
If we don't mine this year, we have no next year.
Jade Fever, streaming now on Outdoor.
And away. Marcus Smith, solo brilliance. One toucher. And that's brilliant. And a new bloke on the wing.
Welcome back. The National Weather Service has issued a strong wind warning this afternoon at 4 for all coastal waters of southern PNG Indonesia border to Daru and Kiwai Island through Gulf of Papua to Kerema to Yule Island, Port Moresby, to Hood Point to Samar and all Milne Bay Islands, Finchafen to Vitias Dampier Straits to Siasi and Long Island, to Medang to Manam and Karkar Island, to Bogia and to Wewak, also to the island of New Britain, to southern New Ireland to Bougainville, including Manus Province. According to the gale wind warning, Tropical Cyclone Kirrily is situated east of Townsville, Australia. A trough line stands eastwards from Gulf to Carpentaria, embedded with Tropical Cyclone Kirrily. These very strong northwest winds of 34 to 47 knots are also expected to continue for the next 24 hours, causing very rough and high seas. The 34th Evangelical Lutheran Church of PNG Synod is currently underway at the Yalibu Mission Station, Southern Highlands Province. The week-long conference was opened on Sunday, January 21st, by Head Bishop Reverend Dr. Jack Urame. The official synod proceedings started on Monday and will end on Friday, January 26th. Over 500 attendees from the 16 other ELC PNG districts and international delegates were welcomed by the host, Emmanuel District, with tambourines, songs, dances, and traditional sing-sing. While the synod is hosted every 2 years, elections for church executives are held every 4 years. Today, candidates for the bishop, assistant bishop, and church secretary positions introduced themselves, while elections will be held on Friday. Reverend Urame, who is serving his third term, said an executive is allowed 4 terms. Meantime, National Church Secretary Bernard Kaisom said the synod this year has historical significance as well. Many years ago, local missionaries from the districts of Yabim and Yukata in Morbe Province moved up to Yalibu to spread the gospel. Papua New Guineans needing kidney dialysis services can now access this service at the Port Moresby General Hospital following the opening of the new dialysis center this morning in Port Moresby. This is the second public kidney dialysis center in the country after Mendi General Hospital. The PMGH Dialysis Center is also the second one in Port Moresby, with the first one being run by the PNG Kidney Foundation at the Kennedy Estate. Notable figures present at the opening this morning included Minister of Health Dr. Lino Tom, Professor Sir Isi Kibau from the Sir Burikidu Heart Institute, Dr. Paki Molumi, CEO of Port Moresby General Hospital, and various distinguished guests. The National Fisheries Authority commissioned the newly established Kidney Dialysis Center. NFA support the establishment of this facility with a funding of 10 million kina.
20 years ago when I was doing medicine, we rarely saw patients with lifestyle diseases in our wards. Now, the 5 top causes are actually people who are suffering from lifestyle diseases. So that's actually an indication of the transition our people are going through in the types of lifestyle we are living.
In his address, Dr. Lino Tom highlighted the shifting health landscape in the country. Dr. Tom emphasized the government's role in ensuring the well-being of its citizens, underscoring the government's responsibility to provide the basic needs of an organized society. He congratulated Port Moresby General Hospital for achieving another milestone, especially in the context of the pressing health needs of the nation. Speaking about the prevalence of kidney disease in the country, Dr. Tom acknowledged the ethical challenges in public health decision-making. He stressed that in a country with a population of 12,000 people suffering from kidney disease, it is a must to confront the ethical dilemma of allocating resources where they matter most. Highlighting the dual disease burden and the urgency to address lifestyle diseases, Dr. Tom echoed the vision of the Marape Rosa government, stating that before the country reaches 50 years of independence, it must achieve health independence and ensure that tertiary health care is accessible to all, and not just the privileged few.
This social contract is a special contract in which the society transfers some of its rights to the government in order to ensure the people's rights to life, liberty, health and possessions are preserved and protected. Today I want to remind all of us that we are bound to our people as instruments of state by this sacred contract. The social contract that demands us in the government to give our utmost best to our people. They have surrendered their rights to the sovereign government of Papua New Guinea in the social contract, in the hope that the government will provide the basic needs of sustenance of an organized society. We have just seen how bad that can happen when you have a government that is non-functional. And that is something that we have to be really, really wary of.
In the aftermath of the harrowing events that unfolded in Port Moresby on January 10th, a glimmer of hope emerged as local heroes rallied to protect community shopping centers from the chaos. A young mother delivered a healthy baby at Matkomanai Health Facility in Kionga, Western Province. Like most mothers in rural Papua New Guinea with limited access to shops and supplies for newborn care, Jada Wedjo's priority was to focus on a safe delivery. The material needs would need to be addressed later. Thus, she arrived at the Matkomanai Health Facility with minimal basic needs for herself and the new baby. Midwife and officer in charge of the Matkomanai Health Facility, Sister Agnes Stephen, confirmed the increase in health center deliveries since introducing dignity kits to mothers. Sister Agnes says the challenges she faces in her health center are limited beds and space for delivery, nil stock of medicines, and proper lighting during delivery. However, she said it is simple gestures like these donations that make the job worthwhile. The small-medium enterprise Abus Nakumu officially opened its construction and fit-out at the steamship's compound on Tuesday. Owner and Managing Director Richard Mark said the objective is to build up momentum on what Port Moresby's residents can expect once they open for business. He said it takes commitment to start, and once you start, you have to finish the journey.
Abus Nakumu, renowned for its savory barbecue ribs and catering services, is all about the family unit. On Tuesday, the local SME, owned and managed by Richard Mark, took another giant leap with the launch of its construction and fit-out project. It's opening shop at the Waigani Steamship's compound in the nation's capital. Mark said Abus Nakumu is a household brand. It started off as a roadside market. Determination, commitment, and passion brought Abus Nakumu to where it is today.
We started off cooking on the roadside for a couple of years, but eventually through determination, commitment, passion, we've been able to get a few orders, and from those orders we've sort of like built our brand and built our business.
Mark said they started with 100 kina, and today they have set a target of making 300 kina a day. The Abus Nakumu managing director emphasized on having small goals and having the support of people around you who care about what you are doing and have the same perspective of where you intend to be during the journey. He said one challenge is adapting to change and having the support to get through it.
We're always looking at how businesses are doing their thing and just trying to adapt. And then I think your team. If you got the right team behind you, right people, you can do the most impossible thing.
Stakeholders who have supported Abus Nakumu during its journey witnessed the occasion. Among them is BSP Financial Group Limited, Michael Rua. Mark said without their support, his efforts would not have manifested into this.
First of all, BSP, Michael, and your team, Manager Blue, Samuel, and Big Manager Blue, Daniel Font, and all the staff there at BSP, big thank you through. Without BSP, all of this would not be possible.
The Abus Nakumu shop will be open for business in a few months. Jane Budo, TVWan News.
And now the finance news. The kina closed 1 point lower at $0.2674 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, our kina was buying $0.2599 $0.3922 Australian dollars, 0.2318 euro and 38.22 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, coffee, cocoa, and crude oil closed higher, while gold, copper, palm oil, and copper closed lower. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed lower, ASX closed higher, and all ordinaries closed higher as well. You're watching TVWan News. Regional news is next. Stay tuned.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase easy paid units wherever you are. Visit your BSB branch today to register now for BSB Mobile Banking. BSB Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSB, our bank, our people.
Enjoy life when we work together, making happy memories that last forever. Haren, talk young, or roll a scale rice family meal with toast. We'll bring out the smiles, cause it's a favorite by miles. Senisi gola scale rice, low scale price. Senisi gola scale rice, low scale price. But you like him?
A true champion is measured by their courage, their determination, and their passion to never give up and to always keep trying. With a delicious Milo and milk taste and added nutrients, Milo and milk is a great way to fuel our little champions with nourishing energy every day. Because true champions give it their all.
Milo, PNG and Mia. Find PNG made.
Number One Super wants members Super to last as long as possible in retirement. With Number One Super's retirement savings account, you get regular payments while the balance remains invested and continues to grow, helping your super savings last longer. It's like still getting paid even when you stopped working. Number One's retirement savings account. Contact us today to find out more.
Strong like you, smart like me. I hope they don't break. Now surely look his son. This is Relaxo. Strong plus shred. Should I try them on you?
No, please. I'll take them.
Relaxo. Very strong, lasts long.
McLeod puts one and it's off the first and it's in! What the flash! And what a fabulous finish from Taylor! And Mayland, and then Good gets it away, and Mayland's chasing, and Mayland gathers! Mayland scores! Missed by Moroni, steamrolling his way through. Wyatt's on his outside. Fail of also won't need him.
Feel it? Feel it? The anticipation, the pulse of the game. It's coming. Something monumental. Get ready for the NRL season 2024. Get ready to witness history in the making.
Thanks for staying with us. To overseas, repeat child sex offenders will face indefinite imprisonment and lifetime electronic monitoring under laws planned by the South Australian government. The changes were an election promise, but with the high-profile case of an assault on a girl on the Seaford train line, the government says it'll now move quickly to bring them in.
The government says they'll be the toughest laws of their type in the nation, with a plan to make repeat child sex offenders face indefinite detention and lifetime electronic monitoring.
Repeat child sex offenders should be in jail indefinitely for the rest of their life, even if they have completed their sentence.
The proposed laws are part of a collection of amendments to child sex offence legislation promised by Labor ahead of the 2022 state election. The announcement they'll be introduced to Parliament soon comes in the wake of an alleged sexual assault of a 12-year-old girl on the Seaford train line. The second time the man had allegedly assaulted a child.
We've been working now for many months
on this legislation, and I'm pleased we're able to fast-track it and have it into the Parliament by the end of March this year.
While the government is talking tough, legal experts have warned against rushing.
No evidence has been presented in this case as to why it is so urgent that you wouldn't consult experts to assist you to get it right the first time.
That raises all sorts of legal issues. It really is a minefield when you get into the question of detaining someone indefinitely or requiring them to be monitored for life.
Under the changes, if a person was jailed for a second time for a serious child sexual offence, they would be automatically sentenced to indefinite detention. They'd need to demonstrate that they could control their sexual instincts to be considered for release. If a prisoner does get released, they would face electronic monitoring for life. The laws still need to pass Parliament, something that looks likely with opposition support.
We're not going to get in the way of legislation that keeps the most abhorrent criminals off South Australia's streets.
There may be political will, but lawyers warn the changes are likely to be challenged in the court.
14 months after the floods that left much of Eugowra in ruins, the Central West town is starting to get back on its feet. The Premier has been visiting and met residents who are finally moving out of temporary accommodation.
When floods ripped through Eugowra in November 2022, devastating the town, the local preschool was one of the casualties. It's still out of action, but the Premier was on hand today for the opening of a temporary replacement.
Just having this area here for them to really run around and thrive, it's so important just for not just for the kids, but for the community as a whole.
I think there's over 70 kids that are booked in, which means in many cases it's mums can get back to work as quickly as possible.
The centre was built with the help of the New South Wales Reconstruction Authority. Many Eugowra residents are still living in pod accommodation. Kay and Max Jones were among them, but have just moved in to their rebuilt home.
Oh, beautiful. What a great spot.
It's excellent.
It's really good. It took a little while to settle in. It was hard moving from the pod back over here because life at the pod had become the new normal, but now we absolutely love it.
While life is returning to normal for some, others are still waiting. They're being held back by issues surrounding insurance claims and a shortage of builders.
One of the hardest things is getting tradespeople.
Not that they don't want to, they're just inundated themselves with jobs to be done.
When Labor and funding allows, the hope is this temporary facility will be one of many to get a permanent replacement.
Parts of New South Wales will be sweltering through heatwave conditions for the next few days. Temperatures are expected to range between 35 and 37 degrees, and some areas are facing the hottest temperatures in 4 years this week.
We have Western Australia to thank for the hot weather in the sense that they felt it first. The heat has been building over WA last week and it's finally hit us here on the east coast. We're expecting temperatures to be about 12 degrees above average in Sydney, and that's particularly tough for those vulnerable groups like the elderly and very small children. New South Wales Health Dr. Jeremy McAnulty has some tips on how to stay safe over the coming heat wave.
If you are going out and about, make sure you're prepared for hot weather, so wear comfortable, loose-fitting clothing that's not too heavy, wear a hat, sunscreen, sunglasses, carry water with you because in hot weather you'll dehydrate more and keep up your water, so drink more than you would normally do. Avoid exercising in the hotter parts of the day.
Health authorities say for those staying indoors to close the doors, the blinds and windows, to crank the air conditioner or the fan, and if you don't have those, to head to your local library or community centre and enjoy the community cooling.
The state government has committed to a 23% boost in baseline funding for 10 key homelessness services in Western Australia as the cost of living and skyrocketing rental prices continue to bite. It comes as Housing Minister John Kerry defends a technical reduction in the number of social dwellings since Labor took power, arguing his government inherited a mess which it's fixing.
Bartholomew House has been helping Perth's homeless for 60 years.
It's brought me to a level where I feel safe and comfortable again. And from here, these guys have found me somewhere to actually move that's going to be like having my home back.
Now St Bart's has funding certainty for another 3 years.
We recognise that these services are under pressure,
there is increased demand, and so we're lifting their baseline funding.
Uniting's Tranby Hub and Anglicare's Foyer Oxford Youth Facility are also on the list of 10 services seeing a 23% baseline funding boost. There's also $34 million in recurrent funding for 4 more recent programs.
Those are organisations that have only had grant funding before, so sporadic, short-term funding. So what this is giving is some security.
But the opposition points to figures highlighted in a recent Productivity Commission report.
After 7 years of Labor, incredibly, we have less social homes in Western Australia than we did when they took office.
In 2017, there were 33,000 social housing dwellings in WA. In 2023, there were 32,000. But the Housing Minister says the previous government created a mess of the sector, which has taken years to repair and required the removal of aged housing stock.
Where we make the tough decisions to demolish our social housing enclaves, that affects our housing numbers.
Mr Carey says despite a pandemic and a skilled labour shortage, progress is being made, and government's social housing spend has risen from $800 million when Labor took office to $1.1 billion last financial year, a figure set to continue growing.
And that ends the news segment. Over to you, Rex.
Thanks, Carol. You are watching TVWan News. Cricket under-19 preparation and Stone joins Vipers camp. That story and more after the break.
Hey, do you know that Cell Money gives you twice the Digicel credits you recharge when you top up your phone with Cell Money?
Yes, I have the good news. So now I put 3 kina in my phone. I receive 6 kina credit.
Well, that's why now I like to top up 5 kina because I receive 10 kina. And then I use my credits to call, send text, or get data.
Let's go to a Digicel store or Cell Money agent today. Deposit money in your Cell Money wallet to top up and receive the double credit.
Dial *888# to do it all with Cell Money.
Cell Money, do it all with Cell Money.
First and exclusive.
I've been hearing things.
There is something going on in this house.
Bowser is coming.
We will destroy the Mushroom Kingdom! I'll do anything for my brother.
You possess a unique set of skills. The world needs you.
Okay.
I think there's something here that's not meant to be. What did you see? I saw a gun.
First and exclusive. All new on Saturdays.
Check out Breaking Weapons Freestyle, each week only on Fight Sports.
Welcome back. In sports, the PNG under-19 cricket team have some interesting matches on their calendar. Following current trial matches at the Amini Park in NCD, Cricket PNG will finalize teams, both male and females, for international qualifying events in preparation for the 2026 World Cup. Cricket PNG Under-19 hopefuls have been at trials at the Amini Cricket Park in the nation's capital to secure a spot in the representative team to attend some big events on the cricket calendar. Cricket PNG CEO Richard Dawn expressed that the Under-19 boys have enough time to prepare with the matches scheduled in July. For the Under-19 girls, their first international outing is in May.
We've got a qualifying event coming up, Division 2 in Samoa, and for the boys, but that's not till July. So we've got a bit of time to make that happen and get a good team together and prepare. Our more urgent one is the girls go to Indonesia in May. So we're looking to pull together our squad. We've done some work last year, but pull together our Under-19 squad to go to that event.
Dawn said there is no guarantee that those who make the team to Indonesia will represent the country at the 2026 World Cup event. All must train hard and perform above par to earn selection.
Importantly, it's not a group of Under-19s. All of the girls who go to this qualifier have to be eligible for the event in 2026, the beginning of 2026. So it's going to be a group of our best Under-17s, and you know, if we can qualify through that event and be ready for that, then you know that's an aim.
Cricket PNG wants all 4 of its national teams, the PNG Barramundis and PNG Lewis, and the 2 Under-19 sides to participate on the global stage. This would increase competitiveness and standard of cricket in the country. Dawn concluded that PNG is a strong cricket side in the Pacific region outside of Australia and New Zealand. It is better that PNG plays against higher-ranking teams in order to nurture player skills for the national side. The presence of former PNG Hunter stars at the team's training camp could potentially be a positive move that would add influence and a sense of pride to the Hunters camp in 2024. 2017 QRL Intrust Super Cup Grand Final team winning trio, dummy half Watovo Puara Jr., winger Butler Morris and prop Enoch Maki are back at the training, but in different capacity. They are part of the new-look PNG Hunters coaching team under Paul Aiton and seem to be getting on well with the players.
PNG Hunters' prodigal son, Watovo Puara Jr. is back in the fray after breaking pre-season camp last season to join up with new franchise Civic Pride for the 2023 Digital ExxonMobil Cup season. Being one of the survivors of the Foundation Hunters team, Puara's wealth of knowledge and experience playing at the QRL level is so valuable to the team that has a lot of new talents. PNG Hunters head coach Paul Aiton said this is a big boost having Watts, Morris and Enoch, who were part of the 2017 squad that won the Queensland Cup Premiership, while him and fellow Kumul Tommy Butterfield played for the Kumuls together. Aiton said they will use the photo of the victory team holding the trophy in the club lounge to challenge and motivate the team again.
I think definitely. I mean, we're going to get the photo put down, but the photo of when they were holding the trophy on the field after the game, it's up in the lounge. I'm going to get that put down. But even me looking at that, I'm like, man, I wish I was part of that as well. So if that doesn't do something for our players, then I don't know what will.
Aiton said he actually played with 3 of them, Puara, Maki and Butterfield, in the national team, and just so happy to have them around the group as part of the Hunters coaching squad.
But I also played with, well, two of them. Well, 3 of those guys over there actually, but Watts and Enoch, so Coach Enoch, so played with both of them, and they're good men, really good to have around, the group. So yeah, I was happy for them to come in and be a part of the Hunters coaching squad.
While in other related news, Puara's possible move back to the Greys this season has been put on hold while he explores the opportunity of being part of the Hunters coaching team for the 2024 Host Plus Cup season. Terry Longwood, TVWan Sports.
Former PNG sprinter and Olympian Nelson Stone has joined the Moni Plus NCDC Port Moresby Vipers camp for the 2024 Digital ExxonMobil Cup season as their strength and conditioning coach. Stone coaches athletics and runs his own athletics club in Port Moresby. He was with the Croton Hella Wigmen last year as strength and conditioning coach.
Foundation Intercity and the nation's capital flagship team, Port Moresby Vipers, have acquired the services of former PNG sprint king Nelson Stone as their strength and conditioning coach for the 2024 season. Stone's appointment took effect immediately after the club signed up Gorokelani's 2023 Grand Final runners-up coach Charlie Wabo as head coach for 2024. Stone, a typical Tokorara suburb kid, but brought up in a home that taught strong discipline and respect through his dad and PNG Taekwondo black belt and instructor Jamuga Stone, who was also Port Moresby Vipers head trainer back in the day. A legacy that young Stone is very proud of and wants to continue the family tradition.
This will be my first year at the Port Moresby Vipers. We've got a proud history back. My father used to be Vipers head trainer back in the 90s, so I'd like to follow that footstep and take up the new challenge. I'm really grateful to be appointed as the head trainer for Port Moresby Vipers, and I'm really looking forward to the season.
Stone runs his own club where he's influenced a lot of young athletes within the Tokoraro community.
I've got my community team back in my Tokoraro community, which is running the Nest Rugby League Club and also the Tokoraro Mixed Up. So I've been engaged with those things. Yeah.
Possibly the highest calling in his young coaching career came last year when he was appointed strength and conditioning coach for the Fiji national women's team Bulikula for the 2023 End of the Year Pacific Championships in Port Moresby. This also gave him the privilege and unique opportunity to cross paths with South Sydney Rabbitohs and West Tigers coaching and technical staff and learn how they do things at the NRL level.
Definitely a great experience, to get a call straight from an NRL club to take up that role as strength and conditioner for the Fiji and Bulikula. So I was really, really excited. Not only that, but we had technical staff from the NRL Rabbitohs and also West Tigers, and I've really learned a lot and rubbed shoulders with some of the best technical staffs in the NRL. It's given me a lot of insights on how to program my sessions. So there was something that, it came unexpectedly, but it was something very big that as personal achievement, this is really, it was a really big one for me, and I was really grateful for what the Fiji Rugby League has done, and also the Dolphins Rugby League has done by, signaling that interest to come my way, and I got the position. Yeah.
Much of Stone's sporting accolades and achievements could be attributed to his dad's influence, PNG Taekwondo legend and former PNG Kumuls trainer Jamuga Stone. Terry Longwood, TVWan Sports.
The Trans Highway 7th Challenge, a signature tournament of the Morobe Rugby Union, returns to the scene in February. 24 teams will vie for the 2024 Lae City Authority-sponsored Trans Highway 7th Cup. The tournament was revived in 2022, and though cancelled last year, it makes a comeback in about 5 weeks' time from the 24th to the 25th February 2024. Morobe Rugby Union President Lionel Kamiak today reaffirmed the scheduled dates for the 2024 challenge. Defending champions PC Ravens will no doubt be back to defend the title won in 2022. Kamiak said a total prize money for 25,000 kina is up for grabs backed by Lae City Authority, PNG Sports Corporation and Design Scope Architects. Significantly, the 2024 Trans Highway precedes the annual general meeting of Morobe Rugby Union. Kamiak said the AGM will include presentation of the 2023 financial reports and appointments of new MRU executives, including president. West Tigers veteran winger David Nofaluma has played his last game for the Tigers after reportedly being served a green to a severance with the club. The club officially announced his contract had been terminated on Tuesday evening.
Coming out to give it to Marshall, who kicks very early.
West Tigers today released winger David Nofaluma from the remaining 2 years of his playing contract with the club. The club and player have agreed to terminate the contract by mutual consent effective immediately. The Tigers, who have entered a new era in 2024 and have been heavily active in playing and potentially releasing others as they look for a full roster rebuild under Benji Muzzle, are chasing a finals berth for the first time in more than a decade this season. The back-to-back wooden spooners, who head into 2024 with an entirely new board after the old Tigers board members were relieved of their duties at the back end of 2023 following a review into the club's operations, have been at war with their veteran winger for some time. Despite having a distinguished career where he has scored 100 tries in 192 games for the Tigers, Nofaluma, who was also loaned out at the end of 2022 for a brief period to the Melbourne Storm, was reportedly told by new coach Benji Muzzle that he wouldn't play first grade again at the Tigers late last year. Nofaluma complained to the RLPA over the alleged comments, suggesting unfair treatment from the club's coaching staff, with the winger also seeking legal advice over where he stood. The perceived unfair treatment led to his first breach from the club after he refused to train and then arrived late to training following a fortnight of discussion between himself, the club, and the RLPA. A second breach that has ultimately led to his termination, according to the Sydney Morning Herald report, suggests Nofaluma suffered a bout of gastro last week, and while he notified a club official he wouldn't be able to train, he was then uncontactable through the club doctor over 48 hours. It was understood a board meeting was set for Wednesday, however, that now won't be needed. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
Days are counting down for one of the much anticipated football matches of year 2024. The Lionel Messi's Inter Miami takes on Cristiano Ronaldo's Al Nassr on February 1st, 2024 in the Riyadh Season Cup in Saudi Arabia. This football encounter has generated so much interest within the football community worldwide as two of the greatest footballers of all time face off on the pitch. The football legends will go head-to-head in an epic match for the Riyadh Season Cup as Ronaldo's Al Nassr plays Messi's Inter Miami FC in February 2024 at the Arabian Peninsula city of Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. The Riyadh Season Cup will run from Monday, January 29th to Friday, February 8th at the brand new Kingdom Arena, Saudi Arabia. Messi and Ronaldo face off on the 1st of February, with the match already attracting so much interest worldwide. That is not all. Inter Miami will also face off against Riyadh Al Hilal for the debut of the Riyadh Season Cup on Monday, January 29th. Al Hilal are currently at the top of the Saudi Pro League SPL, the league Ronaldo and Neymar is playing in. The Riyadh Season Cup will also see rivals Al Nassr and Al Hilal compete in the mega match. Al Hilal had a big-name footballer like Neymar leading the side onto pitch, which makes the Riyadh Season Cup even more interesting. The game will close Season Cup on Friday, February 8. The team with the most points during the tournament will be crowned the winners of the Riyadh Season Cup 2024. That's all we have in sports. Over to you, Carol.
Thank you, Rex. And now the weather forecast for the next 24 hours. Southern region, scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms with windy conditions. Port Moresby, mostly cloudy with chances of rain showers and drizzles. Homase, scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. Lae, partly cloudy with possible few showers. New Guinea Islands, scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms with areas of rain. Kokopo and Rabaul, mostly cloudy with some rain showers and possible thunderstorms. Highlands, scattered morning fog, then scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. All centers partly cloudy with few afternoon showers and drizzles. Ocean forecast. Coral Sea sees rough to very rough with west to northwest winds of 25 to 33 knots, reaching 34 to 47 knots. Coastal waters forecast. Waters of southern PNG and Indonesian border to Daru to Kiwai Islands, Kerma to Yule Island, Hood Point to Samarai Islands. Seas 2.5 to 3.5 meters, rising to 4 meters along gale warning areas. And that ends another edition of TVWan News. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.
The TVWan News was proudly brought to you by BSP, our bank, our people.